Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. What if I told you I got a racket that can produce, enhance, and accentuate your spin and save your arm at the same time? Stay tuned. All right, coffee sponsor of today, David Demarest. David writes, "You're the best. Thanks for everything." Oh, David, you're too kind. You're the best for hooking me up with this coffee. If you want to be my coffee sponsor of the day, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. You want to just hook up the channel, super thanks is the way. Link is below. Thank you. Thank you, David. All right, dark roast happening today, and it's piping hot. All right, so we got spin-friendly racket that'll save your arm. Usually spin-friendly rackets hurt your arm because the balance is more towards the handle. That head is so light that you can flip it up, but at impact, it hurts your elbow. Yeah, did you hear that? Well, it's not going to happen with this one. So this is the Pro Kennex Kinetic Ki 305. Now, we always talk about shafts that enhance, accentuate spin. Well, this is a rounded shaft. Like when I say round, it's round. Almost the sphere, circle, and it comes through like this. So what that does is it speeds up this head, comes up on it, and allows you to produce more spin. So they did this back in the day with the round shaft, but it narrows here. It thins out right here and then thickens up right here. So what that means is this head's going to come through fairly quickly, and it is going to flex right there. It's like muscles here and then thins out at the waist here. Therefore, you see this guard here to stabilize. Let's take a look at the vitals real quick. I didn't have the balance at the time of the filming, so 305 is the weight, 305 is the swing weight, 68 is the RA, which tells me it's going to be pretty powerful. The beam is 24 constant. That means it's going to be a little on the stiffer side. The head size is a 100, 16 by 19 on that string pattern. Swing weight is 305. Yeah, okay. So it's going to come through fairly quickly, but you're going to feel it, meaning you're going to feel the head kind of come through. They had this technology back in the day with the round shafts with the Destiny line back in the day, Graphite Destiny. And that enhanced feel, enhanced flex. But with a RA of 68, I can probably tell now that it's going to be a little on the firmer side. So I'm hoping not only is it going to produce spin, but it's going to plow through a little bit with it flexing right about here and giving me the control. 10 grams of kinetic mass here. So chambers, spheres, half filled with kinetic mass, sand as you guys call it, will help protect your arm through the process. So, yeah, excited to try this. See you on the court. Okay, so Pro Kennex Kinetic Ki 10, 305 weight in the house. Coach Jerod just got off the court, overpowering the ball with it. How did it feel?
So if we're talking about feel-wise, I will say this is definitely softer than the previous ones that we tried. Bigger head, you would think that this would be a stiffer frame because you would think it's more of like a pure drive-esque racket. Mm-hmm. The weird thing about this one that I found was the throat looks like an arrow throat actually, and then the beam looks like a pure drive beam. But ultimately it didn't play like either of those rackets. It was kind of, again, its own kind of unique feel. These days, I am gravitating towards smaller head size frames, so like 98, 97. 95s are just fun to hit with. But yeah, this 100 square inch head size racket was a little bit too much pop for my liking is the problem. So I did find myself kind of abbreviating the swing to kind of get the ball in the court. But I will say if you are a player that's looking for a lot of pop or looking for a different brand than the traditional, again, pure drives, Wilson Ultras or whatever out there, this is definitely a good one to pick because yeah, I like what Pro Kennex is doing with their kinetic technology. Definitely a super soft frame for 100 square inches because again, those 100 square inch head size rackets are super stiff. So I'd say the RA seems like it's pretty low, fairly powered racket, and again, a really big sweet spot. So definitely a good choice if you're looking for a different brand with more pop, and pretty good stick.
So 68 on the RA is going to be, high medium. So there is going to be a good amount of power with the slightly thicker, like the 24 beam. Now the story behind this racket is actually this throat. It's the rounded throat, which is kind of, it is aerodynamic, and this is what's going to accentuate your spin.
Gotcha.
So I noticed that although your launch angle became this way, even though, the amount of power this had, it kept going, and then you had to figure out where it would dive down. But immediately when you struck the ball with this racket, it went from like your regular trajectory, which was like this, to kind of like a little higher, right? Yeah. But the first few, minutes, it went like this and kind of kept going until you figured it out. But I think it was because of the aerodynamic throat and then the design of it.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'd say it also did swing pretty fast for 100 square inches too. So that's another thing as well. So maybe that's why I was trying to adjust to it. But yeah, definitely a slight adjustment period, like you said, and dialed down towards the end, which was good.
And did you put a dampener on this?
I did, but I would say even with the dampener, it was still softer than most traditional rackets. So I do compare, even though I put a dampener on it, I've been comparing these Pro Kennex frames with, Wilson's, Babolat's, and whatever else is out there. And again, guys, I think these Pro Kennex frames are actually probably the softest out of the bunch. So it's been pretty good on the arm.
And the best for your arm.
Yeah. So it's been good. Also the sand in there.
10, so here's the thing. Ki 10 means 10 grams of kinetic mass. So whatever number it says is however much kinetic mass is in here in grams. The higher the number, the more there is, the more dampening it's going to give you. Okay? So, I think Coach Jerod would benefit from the kinetic technology. All right. I want to thank Coach Jerod for hanging out with me today and allowing me to help protect his arm with these kinetic rackets. Where can I find you, Coach Jerod?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Ma Tennis.
All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.
Hey, Harry, I got a match in the morning. I need this thing restrung ASAP. Can you help me out?
Dude, it's 7 o'clock at night.
I know, Harry, but, I don't know if I'm going to sleep well without it. I got to have fresh strings for this match.
Have you ever heard of a service called Direct Tennis?
No.
They can actually send out a stringer to your home.
Wow, great.
They can pick it up, string it, and bring it right back within an hour sometimes.
Awesome.
So it's directtennis.online.
Cool, I'll check that out. Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, check it out. Guys, directtennis.online. Check them out. Get your racket strung.